Every cult begins the same way, not with violence, not with chains, with a person who has answers and people who need them. Marshall Applewhite was not what you would expect. He was educated, soft-spoken, a music professor at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas. He had a warmth about him, the kind that made people lean in when he spoke, the kind that made people want to believe whatever he was saying was true. In 1972, his life came apart. He was dismissed from his university position following a relationship with a male student. His marriage had already ended. He was, by any measure, a man unmoored, searching for something he could not name. He found it in a hospital. Bonnie Nettles was a nurse, 44 years old, deeply interested in mysticism, theosophy, astrology. She had been waiting, she believed, for someone specific, a person she had seen in a vision. When she met Marshall Applewhite, she told him he was that person. He believed her. What happened next is difficult to explain in ordinary terms, because what they built together was not ordinary. They became inseparable within days. They called themselves the Two. They believed they were the two witnesses described in the book of Revelation, being sent to earth on a mission that would end in their own deaths and resurrection. They left their lives behind entirely. Bonnie left her husband and 4 children. Marshall left everything he had known, and together they went looking for followers. They traveled across America in the early 1970s, holding meetings in libraries, campgrounds, living rooms. They called their message the next level. The idea was simple and total. Human bodies were merely containers. The soul could evolve beyond the human level entirely, ascending to what they called the next level above human, but only if you were willing to leave everything behind. Family, identity, desire, all of it. They were surprisingly persuasive. By 1975, they had gathered dozens of followers, people who quit jobs, left families, donated savings, ordinary people, nurses, teachers, former veterans, college students, who found in the two something that felt, to them, like truth. The group moved constantly, living in camps, in tents, in rented houses. They called themselves by nicknames that ended in Odie. They followed strict rules about diet, behavior, and contact with the outside world. The outside world, they were taught, was a place to be left behind. In 1985, Bonnie Nettles died of cancer. It should have been the end. The two had become one. The foundation of everything they had built together was gone. But Marshall Applewhite did not collapse. He reframed her death the way he reframed everything, as proof. Bonnie had simply moved to the next level ahead of the rest of them. She was waiting. The mission continued. He renamed himself Do, and he kept going. For the next decade, the group lived in near total isolation from the outside world. They had a name now, Heaven's Gate. They believed they were not human, not really. They believed their bodies were temporary vehicles. They believed that somewhere, out beyond the stars, something was waiting for them. They were patient. They were certain. And they were still waiting for the sign that would tell them it was time. In 1995, an astronomer in New Mexico photographed something moving near the outer edges of the solar system. A comet, bright enough to be seen with the naked eye. The brightest in 20 years. Its name was Hale-Bopp. And for 39 people living quietly in the American Southwest, it would become the last thing they ever waited for. Next time on They're Still Here, Life Inside Heaven's Gate. The rules, the rituals, and the moment Marshall Applewhite told his followers the comet was their signal. Part 2, Higher Source, coming soon.